Manual transmission. Yes. Could this be anything else? Like, I don't think it could be. There's a big dial, and there's a number that goes up when it hits the rev limiter, and it flashes red when it goes to where the rev limiter is, and it's got a boost gauge as well. Oh my god. They are really, really going in with this Need for Speed game, aren't they? This, as they said, it was just the beginning of the launch is just the beginning. So I'm assuming this is going to be coming in the next update, or, well, sometime very soon, I should hope. If it's not the next update, yeah, then it's a bit of a problem, because you just taste it. You better release it very, very quickly. So yeah, as you can see, the needle goes as normal, hits the rev limiter, and that's when you change up a gear. Don't know what the buttons are, if you can customize the buttons. We don't know these things yet. All we know is this little image right here. So I'm assuming that each car is going to have its proper rev range, if you get the idea. So when it gets to that car's actual rev limiter, that's when it'll start to flash, and that's when you can shift up a gear. You can see the boost is also making a return to Need for Speed. It's been a while since I've actually seen this on a game at all, never mind a Need for Speed game. But basically, if you don't know what it is, it's for the turbo and supercharger. As you know, the boost is activated, you'll see it through the needle over there. It's how it works. So if you got a turbocharger or a supercharger on, they'll work differently. You'll be able to see how they kind of work differently. I think that'll be pretty awesome, but you can see it's in there, and I'm actually quite glad it's in there. It doesn't really serve much purpose to most people, honestly. Like, it's just another needle that moves. Like, it's not really, there's no point to it, but it's there, and I get to see it. So I get to see when the boost is kicking in. I wonder if it actually calculates VTEC with the Civic. That'll be quite interesting. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'm really interested to see how this is gonna play out, because manual transmission in this game, although I wanted it in the game, I honestly didn't mind it wasn't there, because the game is very, very fast-paced and controller-based. So to me, I just wasn't sure, especially when you're like drifting through a corner. I mean, I would love the extra control, do not get me wrong. I cannot wait. I'm gonna use nothing but manual transmission. But what I was thinking is, when you're drifting or taking corners in general on this game, it's very difficult. It's going to be very difficult, I assume, to change gears while actually doing that. So I'm really, really interested to see how this plays, and obviously once we can actually play it, I'm going to give you a full-on test with it, just to give you my thoughts. And I'm hoping that we're actually able to customize the buttons, because generally with games, you obviously get one option and that's it. You can find manual transmission on. For the crew, for example, it's the right stick up and down. Some people absolutely love it, some people absolutely hate it. For then Forza, you can actually customize it, I believe. I'm not too sure, and if not, it's actually a good setup where it's just the face buttons, and I don't really hear many people complain about it if it is that. And even if not, say you're over on the PlayStation 4, you can actually customize it yourself using just holding down the PlayStation buttons and changing it, whereas on the Xbox, you'd have to have the Elite controller if you wanted to do change it, if we couldn't. I'm just going on here and explaining like every little detail I can think of from this GIF image, but here, I have a quick video of the actual speed counter on the rev limiter and that sort of thing. The speedo setup with sound, and you just hear how the gears change. Now, this is absolutely awesome in many, many ways, because obviously, just in general, having more feel to your cars, having more control over your cars. There are a lot of times when this game, for example, it doesn't do what I want it to do, gears-wise. I'm thinking it needs to change up. The game's like, no, it needs to stay on this. I'm thinking it needs to change down. It just stays in the same gear. I think it's going to add a lot of, another layer to the competition of it. Really, if you think about it, for someone that's using manual transmission, that's got used to manual transmission compared to someone that's using automatic, there's usually a massive difference. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, especially with the new competitive lobby in, and I'm assuming they're going to do more competitive stuff in the future because it just makes sense. I'm just thinking, like, how big of a change is this going to be to the game? And also, it means I can have more fun doing drags. I think that'll be absolutely awesome with manual transmission, because it adds another thing to it. Whereas drags normally just go in a straight line across a bridge, the bridge that's owned by the guy with the beard. I'm going to be able to shift. And that's something, if I could, I wish I used to be a YouTuber way back when I played Midnight Club LA with my friends. We used to literally build cars as we progress through the game at the same rate. And then we'd build cars and we'd have drag races with each other. And this is just another thing that I'm going to be able to do in Need for Speed now. And it's something I've wanted to do for such a long time. But there you go. I think I've spoken enough about this little dial. It's a GIF. I've got all this from a GIF. Do you know, quality racing content right here on the BlackPanthaa channel. Alright, so let me know your thoughts. Are you hyped about manual transmission? Are you excited? What are your thoughts? Just tell me, what are your thoughts on manual transmission being added back into the game? And if this is a manual transmission, what the hell is it? Exactly. No, I don't know. Anyway, be sure to leave a like if you found this useful, helpful. Be sure to give me a subscribe if you are new. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace.